Hello, grandchildren. Today I thought I'd talk to you about my hobby, which has been a hobby of mine my whole life, and that is writing. My very first job, as so to speak, was as a writer. When I was in 8th grade, I had a weekly newspaper column called The Teen Beat in the Bremerton Sun, and the article came out every Friday. In that article, I would write about which of our teams, volleyball or basketball or whatever, won games. I would write about whether or not the kids could wear mini skirts or maxi skirts or regular things. In those days, girls didn't quite yet wear trousers to school. And one time I wrote an article about how we were allowed to chew gum in the halls at school. I just wrote things that I thought would be of interest to the students who were in 7th and 8th grade at our school and also their parents. And I was paid the sum of $4 a week for doing that job. And I really enjoyed it. Every Monday, my article would have to be finished, and I'd take it downtown to the Bremerton Sun office. I'd walk over the bridge. It was about 2 miles, I think, to turn in my article. I had to type it on an old-fashioned typewriter. That was before there was even such a thing as an electric typewriter. And but I really enjoyed it. In my school yearbook that year, they put a picture of me in there, and they said, Cheryl Freitag has a nose for news, because they were proud of me as their reporter for the Teen Beat. Later in life, when Grandpa and I got married, we went on our honeymoon on a very large tour, and we were taking 3 classes while we were on our honeymoon. And one of them was the literature of the time and place. And then we also had art of time and place, and we had an independent study. And my independent study was writing poetry. I still have some of that poetry, but I'm not sure where, probably in a box in Oakmont somewhere. Later on in my life, I began to write more things that had to do with history. And my master's thesis, first of all, was on Martin Luther's use of the Church Fathers in his lectures in Genesis 1:1 to 11:25. And then, of course, there is the Phoebe book, which is In the Footsteps of Phoebe, which is a complete history of the deaconess movement in the Lutheran Church Missouri Synod. And then I put out a book about the life and words of Clara Strelo, who was a deaconess and one of the founders of CDC. At the moment, I am almost ready to publish a collection of sermons that were preached at deaconess consecrations over the last 100 years. I've got some other things in my head that I still want to do. Only God knows if I will still have time to do them. One of the things I want to do is I have the manuscript of Theodor Fliedner's trip from Germany to the United States in order to bring the first deaconesses to William Passavant in Pennsylvania, and I'm hoping to finish publication of that someday. So I've got a couple other ideas roaming around in my head, and we'll see what happens. But I do hope that if you have a hobby, that you pursue it, because hobbies are something that we can do to relax. It might be sewing. It might be making puzzles. It might be creating games. It might be playing games. But whatever it is, enjoy it and allow yourself to have some rest and relaxation from employing your hobby. And do it to the best of your ability. And God bless you. Love to all of you.